Black on cop violence is getting worse all over the country. Hi, this is Colin Flaherty, author of White Girl Bleed a Lot. Here we talk about racial violence, black mob violence, black on white crime, the knockout game, all without racism, without rancor, without apologies. Let's look at a couple of the recent examples of black on cop violence out of Boston, Chicago, and Florida. Then we're going to see what it means.
A witness of Saturday's melee in Delray Beach said the situation escalated after police became aggressive. Corey Provost, a New York resident who was visiting Delray Beach for the holidays, said the confrontation started after police officers accused people at a birthday party of smoking marijuana. An argument broke out on the lawn between the police and the partygoers when the situation escalated. The fight broke out just after 7:30 p.m. on Saturday and resulted in the arrest of 4 men. Police said partygoers formed a human shield around officers to stop them from moving. Police estimate upward of 70 people were involved in the situation.
This reporting is as bad as it gets, so let's listen to part of it one more time.
A witness of Saturday's melee in Delray Beach said the situation escalated after police became aggressive. Corey Provost, a New York resident who was visiting Delray Beach for the holidays, said the confrontation started after police officers accused people at a birthday party of smoking marijuana.
You know, there's no law that says a reporter has to include every point of view, every false claim in a news story, or in this case, make the false claims, outlandish claims, the major part of the news story. So the cops show up. They get into a physical confrontation with a lot of people using drugs at a party, and this reporter says the violence only started after the police became aggressive. Why don't we take another look at a different report, get a slightly different version of what really happened that night? So this is not the first time in December that people in Delray Beach have been charged with inciting a riot. So the most recent arrest occurred Saturday night. This is the thing we just saw, where 70 people became aggressive. 4 men were arrested. At least somebody got arrested. Somebody threw an object, translate brick, through the windshield of a police cruiser. One officer was pushed. Another was hit with a recycling bin. And all this started because apparently the police showed up trying to enforce the law, and they are the bad guys. Where do they get these idiotic reporters saying this crappy stuff that we just heard on this video? I posted this next clip a couple days ago, but it's about the same topic, so let's just fold a brief recap of it into this one too.
Lisa, we're talking about a family of Haitian immigrants here, ranging in age from 19 to 13, both boys and girls. Now, police say the family jumped officers who were trying to arrest the oldest on a bail violation that you mentioned, but the family says police both overreacted and went overboard with very little provocation. Did you hit anybody or choke anybody or kick anybody?
No.
Did your cousins or your sisters?
They did not.
That is Lorson Morissette denying that his family attacked 2 police officers who showed up at their Dorchester apartment yesterday to arrest his older brother, Woobinson.
That's a lie. We didn't touch them.
But police who came to this Wayne Street apartment tell a radically different story. They were there to arrest Woobinson for a GPS bracelet violation, which he'd been wearing as a bail condition on previous charges. When they confronted him in a rear staircase, they say Woobinson attacked them, and he called to his teenaged brothers, sisters, and cousin to join in the beating, which they did, sending both cops to the hospital.
Now here's a story out of Chicago from just a day or so ago. Cops were chasing a couple of guys driving a stolen van. The van stops, guys get out and run, but the guy driving the van turns it on the cop and hits the cop. This wasn't an incidental blow. He was using the van as a weapon to strike the cop. Now, in Chicago, this is business as usual, but isn't that kind of part of what's going on here, that places like Chicago, Detroit, Boston, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., they've kind of redefined what is normal. and the rest of the country is now just starting to catch up. People defy the cops in a violent fashion every day in these towns. Now we go to Delray, Florida. Delray, Florida. What the hell is going on in Delray, Florida? So we know it's not just Delray, right? You ever read the Second City Cop blog? It's probably the best cop blog in the country. And there's a new one out called anonymouscop.com. Same kind of stuff, kind of a point of view of what's going on from the cop on the beat, from their point of view. Lots and lots of cops read the Second City Cop blog. Well, they had something in there the other day. A lot of people who posted these blogs are cops. And one guy started talking about the Kansas City experiment. And what they said was the Kansas City experiment showed that putting cops out on patrol basically has no effect on crime whatsoever. And that's cops in cars. I don't know about cops walking the beat, but even that strikes me as a little kind of the same. But but I'm not a cop expert. I'm just a guy that sees these things and says, "What the heck's going on?" But let's get back to Kansas City. So the big Kansas City experiment says, well, cops in patrol cars, they don't really make a difference on crime. And so that's going to be the buzzword now for the cops to start going to what they call reactive models. They're just going to reply to 911 calls from now on. They're going to kind of abdicate. Almost couldn't pronounce that word. Abdicate even bigger chunks of the cities they patrol. Just the other day, the mayor of my little town, Wilmington, Delaware, was on the radio talking about parts of the city where even cops couldn't go. My brother, to his occasional credit, we do a talk show together at WDEL, he piped in and said, "What? There are parts of this town where cops can't go?" Well, that's the new normal now, because cops are just guys that go to work every day. They go to work, they carry a lunch bucket. They want to go home to their families at night. And now we're asking them to go on our behalf in places where they're going to be attacked every day. Oh, that's what's happening, by the way. They're attacked physically, they're harassed, they're taunted. And let's not sugarcoat this. This violence against cops is a black thing. And it's clear when you see the videos. It's clear when you talk to the cops when they're making arrests in black neighborhood. Every time they roll into a black neighborhood to make an arrest, it's always a racial thing. You're only doing this because I'm black. So is that what we want? Is that what we want? We want to keep seeding bigger and bigger chunks of our cities, newer and newer cities all the time. We want to just keep seeding them to this black criminal underclass. The same one being enabled by all the talking heads on TV that tell us black people are relentless victims of relentless white violence, expressed relentlessly at the end of a badge by relentlessly racist cops. That's the fairy tale we're getting. That's the fairy tale we keep hearing every day on the news. But every day, videos, victims, 911 calls, and other evidence comes forward showing the opposite is true. Police are not the predators. Police are the victims of this racial violence created by black people. That's the truth. That's why we have to share these videos. That's why you have to like it, tweet it, put it on your Facebook page. And all you have to do is ask one question. Did you see this? Let me know what you hear. This is Colin Flaherty with White Girl Bleed A Lot. Talk to you next time.